Hello and welcome to Real Hi-Fi Help. In this video I'll cover MIT cables, how they sound like. Now this is just based on my opinion, but I've heard a lot of MIT cables, a lot of MIT power bars, and yeah, this is what I have to say about that. So I would say that it's a lower budget to medium class brand in regards to quality of sound, not price. What is MIT generally in regards to sound? It is information, information, information. They almost always have a huge sound stage, but at the expense of delivering true inner detail and being sincere and truly warm on a deep level and letting go of the sound. So yeah, it's dry, it's clean, it's focused, it's detailed, it's wide, it's separated. It's a very certain type of sound, which is like total opposite of Cardas, I would say. So if you don't believe in cables, MIT cables are a pretty good place to at least start to realize that yeah. They do deliver a noticeable difference. So I guess that's a positive thing. Not many cables in the lower end can you really connect to lower pieces of hi-fi gear and get a noticeable difference. But MIT cables, yep, there definitely is a difference. Question is just, are you going to like it? I'm not a fan of MIT cables, but I have to say, MIT cables on spectral gear with Wilson audio speakers and Negra gear is just crazy good, crazy good. I don't know why it's that good on that piece of gear. I heard from several dealers that spectral gear is apparently frequency locked, so that frequency lock cables like transparent and MIT cables somehow communicate really, really well. And it just feels like MIT cables are specifically made for spectral gear. And because of that, then yeah, I could live with spectral gear, Wilson audio speakers, and MIT cables. Oh yeah, I mean, even though that's very dry, a bit boring, vulgar, and a bit mechanical, it's on such a high level that I mean, a lot of people would actually consider uh, uh, only some few people would consider selling one of their family members to get that level of disgustingly good detail. I mean, that is really dry and vulgar detail that is really impressive. But I don't know what else to say about MIT cables, because if you go down here, now we've got the minus side, and I feel that there is a huge minus side to MIT cables. That it, like I said before, bright light, lacking real weight, not releasing fully. Just this here especially, it just sounds insincere. Emotions, true inner deep emotions. I feel that they get suppressed. But yeah, if you're into Macintosh type of transistor gear, I get it. Macintosh also has that, that gray, bitter, vulgar tone towards delivering a certain type of sound for a certain type of person. I get it. If you're into that, fine. If you're into Past Labs and Echophase and Mark Levinson, yeah, you most likely will find this interesting, at least to try. It is a very certain type of sound, and to start with, in my hi-fi journey, when I heard this to start with, I was like, holy to start with, because I was really impressed with the whole technical aspect of how high a level of technicality it was entering. I was impressed by the black levels, about the separation, the clarity, the whole space in the soundstage where you could hear the artist almost dance around you, like in a 360 degree angle there. And that kind of is really impressive. It's very dry, it's very cool, it's very vulgar, and yeah, it is pretty cool. And especially when you get up to the Magnum series, and move up towards the bigger Magnums, and the Oracle, and now they have a new series. I haven't heard the new series of MIT cables, but yeah, if you're into that dry detail, impressive effects and stuff like that, yeah, that then you probably will like MIT cables. But again, with their power bars, again, just like, it just feels soulless, dry, and again, dissecting everything. But if you like that, fine. I have a lot of interesting things that I wrote down here about. I would actually like to listen to one day MIT cable company doing everything that they usually do with their top models, but doing it with audio notes, silver cable inside, and a silver capacitor inside, instead of those ferret choke thingies that they use in their boxes, and then the really good audio note silver plugs. I would like to listen to that in an MIT version, because MIT cables are frequency locked cables. They have this thingamajig where you can regulate the frequency on it, and I was actually never really able to hear a substantial difference in sound. There might have been a slight difference, but I was never really able to fully tell, like adjusting on this thing, what really made things different. So yeah, I mean, it does somehow belong in the hi-fi world, even though it's ridiculously priced, the whole thing. I think they make some of the most expensive cables in the world. That's how they usually look, and I think that you can't really judge MIT cables until you've had something like this as a start. You need like the Magnum series to start with. Those old Terminator series, I mean, forget it. I mean, you might as well take any other MIT cables, and try those, because they give you a lot better impression of what exactly is going on. So yeah, very informative, and when you get them in longer cables, and you connect them with Macintosh, Acrophase, Spectral, stuff like that, I mean, a lot of people like that. So it's definitely something that you should take into consideration, and at least just borrow and try, and so you can like hear this extreme way of reproducing music. If that's what you like, fine, go with that. It's definitely not for me, but I get it. Some people like it, and like I wrote here, if you've got an old B&W speaker that is really fatty mold and hard to drive, and you don't get a lot of clarity, you don't get a lot of focus, it actually can sound pretty cool putting an MIT mid-class cable on that. It will really help cut the detail out, and if you got that for a cheap price, I mean, then you might not even have to use money on a proper speaker. That might do it for you. And I've listened to that like a billion times at so many friends' places, and I just thought, oh god, not another B&W crap speaker that is 10 to 25 years old with MIT cables on some unsympathetic Macintosh or whatever transistor gear that they're running. But I get it. In the start of your hi-fi journey, you have to at least try this and listen to it, because it is a very certain type of direction that you're going in, and that's fine. I think that there should be room for people listening to music in this kind of way, even though I find it a bit vulgar and repulsive. But hey, I used to like it. in the start, and I really get it. You know, I was seriously considering buying MIT cables in the start because there were certain types of gear that I was listening to where this almost made it even more dry and vulgar. And I liked dry and vulgar back then. I really liked listening to tight bass and that separation that really grips the sound, and it's really cool and manly and stuff like that. You know, that I get that. You know, that we're all on some kind of a hi-fi journey, and in some, I think at some point you're into that kind of thing, and that's fine. You know, if some people like that, then some people like that. Well, that was all with this video, and remember to like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye.